here we go. Ta-da! So let's see where I'm at. I have actually made fairly good progress in the last couple of days. So now we're going to try to get let's see, we're moving on from league creation. We're going to go ahead and change my I gotta get a couple things going, settings going on my screen here. Hold on. We're almost there. Almost there. Hold on. Okay, so my screen is not changing screens. Okay, one note blew up on me. Hold on. Let's try this again. Like, this is not who you are. I know, it's not me. Hold on, we're gonna get there, slowly but surely. First, we'll do this. And then we will do this. Let's see, what day are we on? I think I'm probably day 233 because I did I stream it all these last couple of days? Actually, I don't remember. I have some ideas on how I want to make my UI display what team you've currently got selected. But I'm not doing that right now. It's kind of a later thing. Like I said, I'm basically trying to get A to Z, but I'm skipping like 20 letters. If I called it the 26-step process to production, I've got, I'd probably say I've got 5, maybe. And some of those steps are huge, right? I mean, it's like, if this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Things to do, major component steps to do. Okay, first one, authentication. That was A. Get authentication working so that I can actually have users in there. Now, I have playbook and game plan in existence. They exist so you can navigate them, but they're not plugged into anything yet. So they don't actually work with a sim. I don't even have a sim going. So the problem with that is, of course, that, I've got the parts. Is that even considered? No. If it isn't part of the flow, I don't have it in the steps. So I would call that in there, but I'm skipping it until all the letters are connected by a line. Let's say I have 26 letters, and right now I have A, authentication, B, league creation, C, team name selection, and then I'm skipping all the way to like D or F. No, not even D, probably F or G, where I'm going straight to the sim, where I'm skipping out of roster and playbook and simulation. Roster, playbook, and game plan integration. I have those parts, but none of those are actually doing much. I have a play editor, which is a letter in there, but it's not high priority. And so what happened? How did I do that? Why didn't it like me? I'm trying. Come on, you. Be cooperative. Continue. And then I say continue. Oh, there it goes. And then I go in here and I dump this because I want that. Say edit first. I'll get rid of that. And then we will go grab my tags that I want to use, or I generally use. let's go ahead and add this to that. Unity let's save. All right, now let's see. What do I want? So I was working with AI and it broke everything last night. But I did check in everything. I had everything going. And now I'm trying to see if I can essentially implement what it was trying to implement in a way that doesn't break things. I'm going to do it manually. So what that means is I am going to want to, let's see. See, I got all these errors, and that's just, you know, not okay. I don't know why. I think, okay, assign user is new, so that obviously failed because this is functionally not right. I don't know why we have 2 calls to assign user. And so that didn't work. Let's go see if those are set up correctly. Let's go to my FPFM Android assets, game processing. No, how do I always mess that up? It's scripts, game processing. I don't know why I have 2 game processing folder. I feel like this one can be gotten rid of, but I don't know if that's if the UI creates that, and if I'm supposed to be putting this stuff in there, but then you're supposed to put stuff in scripts. I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't see how that's going to matter. There's nothing in it, and I'm tired of seeing this distraction. I guess Unity will complain if it needs to put it, and it'll put it back probably if it's in. Then this one has materials. This has models. Models is different though. That's not models like this. This is like data models. This is like actually character models. I should probably change this. I think I just called it models personally. I don't think that's actually what it's supposed to be called. I don't think it's a Unity thing. Let's call it character models. Let's see if that let's see if AI breaks too much when I do that. We're gonna find out. Hopefully Unity doesn't like, hey, what did you do that for? That's not okay. All right, so let's go back to my core here. See, core here doesn't have anything in it either. See, is there? So there's core there, which has my camera and app initializer, scene loader, but this core don't have anything. Let's give it a, I don't want stuff that's just cluttering stuff. Editor, the editor has stuff. Game data. Oh yeah, game data. Now the game data is where I am actually making calls back to the microservices. And the league one is the one that should have a function, fetch team selection list, and create league, and assign user to team. So we do have an assign user to team that's making its call back. It's calling it using, all right, so we've got endpoint and request, the API handler post. Okay, so this is not, I don't think this is correct. This is not using correct strategy. Well, maybe it is. API handler is the functionality that's calling that, and then it's post. And it's posting assign user to team response. So we need to get the response back. Okay, so maybe that is okay. Endpoint request. And then that pulls back my data, which obviously is not correct. And then somewhere, the big thing is that what AI did, and here's what I want to do now, is I have to restructure a little bit, because I think, or I'm sorry, refactor a little bit. originally all of this stuff was going through the title screen, right? Title screen was handling all this initial stuff, but home screen, all home screen should be is kind of like a trigger, and it may not even be the best trigger source. But what I would like home screen to be is kind of like a parent slash background to everything. So I got the home background. This is just everything that you see here, not counting this, because this is actually the app loading panel. Theoretically, that can be off. So this is just my home screen. Currently, no functionality exists on the home screen, but I do have like the latest updates panel, which I would like to figure out a good way to implement this. My brain is just triggering here. Just hold on. Just hold on while my brain tries to figure this stuff out. Honestly, I didn't even think about it, but my panels work weird. I scroll vertically, but my scrolls open horizontally. So it's like you open the scroll, but you read like this, which is kind of weird. Theoretically, my scroll should open like that, so that when you scroll horizontally, it's like you're going through the scroll, right? Yeah, I know. And we'll see if anybody in the world, when I actually get this out there, actually calls that out. Could I flip it? Yeah, I think I could probably change it, but right now it would probably be an amount of work if I try to change that to horizontal. Would it be as? I mean, it would functionally look just as cool. I'm just trying to decide. It makes sense if I'm going to scroll vertically that my scroll would open vertically as well instead of opening horizontally. Yeah, nope. That's a visual that I don't need to mess with right now. Stay on target. Stay on target. As to quote, I don't know, Commander, red one. Let's see who it is. Hey, Cortana. Sometimes it works. I don't know what the trigger. I don't know what apps can do that. Hey, Cortana. I did it once and it fired, but apparently this is not that once. Hey, Cortana. Yeah, it's hit or miss. I don't know. I think I can do it with Edge. Let's see if I open Edge. Hey, Cortana. Nope. I tell you, it worked. It worked one time. I've never been able to consistently get it to work, though. Hey, Cortana. Yeah, you really got to be better at responding to me, Cortana. Get out from KoFi. Yeah, okay. I don't really want to do that.
Of course, I'm speaking with you in audio now. What's on your mind?
Hey, who am I quoting when I say stay on target from Star Wars?
That's right. Stay on target is a famous line from Star Wars. It's said by a character during the climatic battle scene in Episode 4, A New Hope. It's become pretty iconic, hasn't it?
Well, actually, I was asking who the character was.
My bad for missing that. The character who says stay on target in Star Wars is Gold 5, also known as Davish Krail, a rebel pilot in the Battle of Yavin. Classic scene, isn't it?
She's really energetic, isn't it? Classic scene, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it's pretty classic. It's so it's Gold 5. So when I say quoted by, in the immortal words of Gold 5, stay on target, stay on target. But I can't. I can't. I'm streaming and my brain just doesn't know how to stay on track. It should be stay on the track. Stay on the track. All right. Again, I'm digressing with my digression. My digression is digressing. Um, so let's get back to figuring out why assigned user is stumbling. Okay, so I told it never use snake case. So what does it do? It does assign dash user. Hmm. Instead of underscore, snake case is all lowercase with underscores. And here they said, "Wow, we're not going to use snake case, so we'll just put a dash in there instead." So I stay in the rules. All right, so we have assigned user, which is of course wrong. Let's see here. We are getting this endpoint from. Okay, so it's getting it from here. Assigned to use team URL. Let's go to definition. Let's make sure that I have the right. So if not, the issue is going to be that it's not broken on this end. Gosh dang it. Why isn't it going anywhere? Holy moly. Are you telling me that it has this assign user to team URL and it didn't actually create it? It's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, it did happen. So this is server config. That's the one I want. Okay, so we did create it, and it is correctly set up as API leagues teams assigned to user. So with that existing, the problem is that we are incorrectly. I mean, it's not like inappropriate. It's like assign user to. So we're getting it, and then we create the request, but it's blowing up when it gets there. So it's leagues. Oh, we got double API. Oh, that's not right. Why is it double APIing me? Double APIing me. Okay, so that's part of it. All right, so we have create league URL, but we're not supposed to API this. If it uses base URL like it's supposed to, which is blah 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 API, it's the whole root. Hey, Blades of Doom, how you doing, man? This fine Monday morning. I have a base URL endpoint which blends with all of my individual call endpoints. So that's why I don't need a double API here, because it would be API again. So let's see if that fixes anything on that part. Hopefully that'll get me around this thing. And let's see, what else we got? I don't know why it's calling assign user twice though. That shouldn't, unless it's calling it, is it calling it once with, why is it, all right, we're not done compiling here, I think. I always have to stop and wonder if my mic is running, because I've had a couple people who are like, I'll be on for like 30 minutes and they'll show up and they'll go, hey, is your mic, why isn't your mic working? So I always have to stop and turn, make sure it's on. It is on, I know that, but it's like, oh, I've been streaming for 30 minutes and it's just been silence. Verity, how's it going, man? I don't think, welcome. I don't know that I've seen you here before, or at least not that I'm aware of, but thanks for stopping by. And thanks for the confirmation. Oh, that's right. You were working on you had said, I think you had said you were working on a game before. All right, let's see how my so I made, like I said, I made decent progress, but something AI did last week broke it. So it's kind of cool. I was having fun playing with it. it's not a game yet by any means, but just watching things finally start coming together, like my loading bar is doing its thing, stuff is loading correctly, and then finally it loads, and then boom, this happens. Now, oh no, I guess we're okay right here. Never mind. But I did some things that maybe I fixed this. So finally I got my team selection thing going up, and you can see my little dialogues are popping up. And I'm like, this is kind of cool, man. Look at it. It's got all my pictures in it, my characters. Oh, the ones I do have. These are just defaults. They don't have an image yet for those teams, but we're getting there. So as I said before, I can't use NFL stuff. You're not allowed to use names and likenesses or teams. So what I'm using is their actual names, but I shuffle all of the first names of the teams, of all the players. So this Evan Rogers is now the first names are shuffled within the team. So there's some guy, I don't know who, in 2009, this is 2009 data, at least for now. I'll get more on there eventually. But for now, I just have my 2009 data. And this is Aaron Rodgers in 2009. He's got 4 years of experience, which is straight out of the NFL. This is the calculated salary based on their skills and ratings and stuff. So he's got a $48.64 million salary per year. And this is a randomly generated per league. So whenever I hey, Prosto Coutoy. Oh man, that one's gonna be tough. I'm sorry if I butcher that. Prosto Cotiolo? Is the T silent? Coyolo? I don't know how to say that. I apologize. Cotiolo? I'm sure it's probably easier to pronounce if we heard it from if somebody knew what that, if it's like a different language or something, you know. Prosto Cotiolo. I would pronounce it as Cotiolo, short of someone telling me that certain letters. We'll just say Prosto. All right, how's it going, Prosto? Because it looks like that's first name, last name, or first part, last part. Yeah, I've been here before, but really active on Twitch the past months and weeks. All right, sounds good. Oh, good. Well, that's encouraging. I was able to figure that out, but still. Oh, by the way, let me turn on this thing so I can hear you guys. I can actually hear you if I do turn this thing on. Truthfully, it doesn't.
Says, and Dad would be weird first and last name LUL. Ladesodu says, I have my game manager working to build all of the singletons in the correct order.
That's nice. You know.
Says, what is that critter?
This critter is a buckray. It's a made up. No, see, okay, so that's the thing. The way he's supposed to look, he's a buckray, a combination of a buck and a manta ray. But here's the deal. This is what he's supposed to kind of look like. I'll show you. And then I asked AI to give it the right art style that I was shooting for, and he kept destroying my wings. I kept saying, "Why do you stop changing the wings?" But it kept giving him bat wings. I couldn't get it to stop doing that. But I'll show you what he's supposed to look like. And basically, this is a buckray. Okay, so this character is a buckray. Now you can see he's got more of a manta. He's supposed to have manta ray tail and a manta ray wings. You know, like the fish manta ray. And then he's got kind of the head of a manta ray, but he's got the horns of a buck, like a deer, you know. So that's what he is. He's a buck ray. but I don't want to use this character because this is not in the style I'm shooting for with the application. I'm going for more of this high energetic, high.
Codolo says, that's some weird dude.
Yeah, but he came out cool. All right. So here's how the characters are defined. Every one of my characters, because I can't use NFL teams and logos, because they're owned by the NFL. What I can use is my own made up names, which are just anagrams of the real names. So,
Codolo says, cool indeed.
so all these guys are, all of the mascots are part of the, are anagrams of the actual team. And the Buck Rays, I believe, are the Green Bay Packers. You can tell that, I guess that because I remember, I know Aaron Rodgers plays for the Green Bay Packers, or at least he did in 2009. Obviously doesn't anymore. But, and then he's got the green and gold uniform that I had the AI put on him when I had it change it to the right style. And what I'm going to have to do at some point in the future is either hire or just keep playing with AI till it gets it right. But hire some help to help me get these guys to look like they're intended to look. But AI can create the art style I need and mostly apply it to the characters. So
Codolo says, I don't know anything about whatever sport it is.
this is American football. So not soccer. So I always have to say American football because people who aren't from the US see soccer. They hear soccer and they go, well, that's different. I didn't mention Blades of Doom. I saw you said you got your singletons working. And, AI wants to serialize everything. And I keep telling it to stop doing that. I keep telling it to don't serialize all my objects, use singletons. So
Codolo says, oh, I know American football.
yeah, okay, so this is all American football changed in style to like a fantasy setting, and therefore all of my characters are the mascot.
Codolo says, that one you play with your arms, yes. Codolo says,
Yes.
serious slot.
Yes, it's the one you play with your hands. There is some foot in it. You kick it at the beginning of the game. You kick it to...
Doom says, yeah, no worries. Don't let me distract you, XD.
Hey, don't worry about it. That's why I stream. I stream to communicate, interact with people, and kind of show them what I'm doing, and just build some community to I don't know, let people know about what I'm working on, that kind of thing. So anyway, once you select, once I...
Codolo says, just being silly.
Yeah, well, a lot of people like to be silly about that, and I get it. But the thing is, here's what I tell people who aren't from the U.S. I go, look, the U.S. only has one word. There's only one word for American football. It's football. There's two words for that other game, and I say use soccer. Now, to be fair, I think the U.S. came up with the word soccer, and we're just saying, hey, here's your word. Rest of the world, the U.S., we think we could just impress our will on the world. Oh, yeah. No, definitely, Kevin. Brett Bezzy still will not leave. Now, I haven't tried to do an update today or anything, but just yesterday, I was working with Bezzy a little bit, and it would not let me out of the same thread. I was still stuck in the thread. So I did restart my computer at least once because it crashed. But yeah, it was still doing it. Like I said, I haven't tried an update today. I haven't tried to use it at all today yet. But yeah, it's still a thing. Or at least it was. I know you said a new update was coming that should fix it, and maybe it'll be fixed then, but I haven't tried today. I was sick.
Codolo says, my PC just turned off today. Codolo says, today asterisk. Cross.Codolo says, is it the thing?
What? Turning off your computer?
Cross.Codolo says, Windows so old it could have a silent stroke now. Cross.Codolo says, Sabaping.
Yeah, we will see. I think, I can wait. I'll probably keep, I mean, I keep using it. Only problem is, like I said, you keep hitting that 20, is it 20 questions? I don't know. The thing is, it's kind of weird. It says tools. It says you hit your 20 tool limit. You got to click continue. And it's like, I don't know what 20 tools is. I assume that's tokens versus, like most LLMs, you're using tokens when you do whatever. And I don't know what tools are, but Bezzy says I've hit my 20 tool usage limit or whatever. I'm like, what is a tool? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'll have to let you explain that. But anyway, what else was I saying about my characters? Oh yeah, it's just the characters are all just anagrams of their original name. So I had to create the characters. So like the lizards, basically I took all the letters from the city and the name of every team, found a word in there, anagram word that worked as a mascot, like lizards. I came up with buck rays because I found buck rays in there. I thought that might be kind of cool if I can make it up. But I think I only have 2 teams that have made up words as their anagram. I think everybody else has an actual word. The gherkins, I think the gherkins, which are pickles, but it was, I think the gherkins are, no, it's not the Miami Dolphins. Oh, it's the Washington Redskins are the gherkins. So that's another thing. I have 35 teams in my league, or 35 characters in my game. And that's because I had to change anagrams when the team changes, either the name of the team.
Cross.Codolo says, that's some cool Tyrannodo at frogs.
Tyrannotoad. He's a frog. He's a cucumber. Look, I'll go to the next one and you can see his. Oh, dang it! This ain't loading.
Yeah, he looks like the half frog.
Yeah, well, that's the problem too.
Says, no, previous one.
That's the problem too. My characters all have to have arms and legs so that they can play football. They don't even all have to have legs. I have one group, the snakes, which have just a tail. But I have no idea how I'm going to animate that. So there is a chance I have to change him to be just another arms and legs. I would love to make it have a tail, but I don't even know how to do animation for these things. So I'm going to have to learn to model them and put animation into these guys. I'm dreading it. I'm terrified of that premise. Okay, so my assign users did not work. Boo! It's still calling it wrong. So I think there's something wrong with the call, but it is correctly doing it without the API failure now. So I don't have double API. So I may have to call upon.
Codolo says that not even need to have legs. Quoted. Try say now that football isn't a good name for that game serious slot.
Okay, you're right. In fact, that might be a reason why I can't play the snakes. Unless, well, no, I guess I could figure out an animation where when they have to kick off or do field goals. Oh gosh, see, that's just going to make the animation so complicated. I may have to have him come up on the ball and slap it with his tail, But that's going to be a really rough animation. Yeah, I don't know how that would. So I'd have to have him come up and stop and see that. See, I'm going to have to hire a professional to do my animations. Or I'm going to have to just like, okay, no, I'm just going to change him to have human legs. Everybody gets human legs and arms.
Says, got good laugh. Something good at the end of a day.
End of day, it's only 9:30 a.m. It's 9:30 a.m. and the rest of the world too. So you're at the end of the day. So you're like, where are you?
Says, 18:30 here.
That's not, what's it? That puts you, geez, that's 9.5 hours. Is that right? Or 9 hours? 9.5. 9 hours. So it's 3, 6. Yeah, you're 9 hours ahead of us. All right, so let's see. I got to figure out why this isn't showing up. It does show my logos when it's working correctly. I think part of it's breaking down because this isn't working. So let's see if I can get AI to help me pin this down. There's something going on. All right. Good call to assign user. It's not working. Let's see if, let's first check to see my terminal. See if we have a gateway call. Okay, we do have a problem here.
Says, where I am. In a sad place. But had some fun moment here. Have a nice day. And good luck with your project.
Hey, anytime, man. And I'm
says, BB.
sorry to hear that things are not great where you are. But thanks for stopping by, and I hope things improve for you. You have a great day too. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We are calling proxy team image request. Oh, this is just calling my images, and then that loaded. Getting team for user 6. Yep. Creating league for user 6. Yeah. And then getting team selection list, which is what my API is supposed to be calling. I don't know why it called it twice. It's still weird that it's calling that twice. It shouldn't. And let's go look at league, see why that didn't. See if any log information came in here. Let's see, found pool player. Oh, this is still just calling the yeah, this is just calling the load for that. So we got team, retrieve team captains, did that. Getting team selection. So this is where things are breaking down. We're not actually getting the getting team selection list for default user, and that's for just loading it. So we're making this call, but something's falling down. Plus, I am seeing that it is being called twice. Not sure if that is because of the error or a redundant call. We got that, and then we're down here and it calls it again. And let's see if it can. Let's see if it can figure out why it's doing this. The objective right now is to make my team selection load again. It was loading fine. I wanted to show you the logos, but I had it. It wasn't saving the choice selection. So when I hit confirm, it wasn't doing the assign to team, and then it wasn't doing the then when it goes to the team name selection, it wasn't doing the team name selection. So I said, well, we got to fix this. So it did something to fix and make the calls, and it adjusted stuff, which wasn't a ton. I can kind of look at that now by going to my GitHub comparisons. but obviously it's failing to make this assigned to user call. So I don't know if the gateway is missing something, or I feel like it. Well, no, it did it actually try to do it? No, it says creating a league for user 6, 8 teams. No, it did that, and then it's getting team selection list. You know, it might not have. It might not have it. Let's go see. I mean, I guess I can look, see where is it making changes at? Whoa, it is making a ton of changes. Oops, did I do that? Did I do that yet? That's probably okay. I am going to create my models. No. Wait a minute, did that actually delete those? I shouldn't have deleted anything. Animations. You know what? I'm not worried about that. Team character meta. I'll put, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not to that point yet, and I need to create new models, or at least one new model that's better than these ones. Give me something to do in the, so as I start familiarizing myself with all this nonsense again, I don't think the model's going to matter. It might complain. Yeah, we're going to leave that. Okay, so what else is it changing? Issues found. Let's go look at what it did. Oh, it's just adding. Clean up listeners before destroying. Team option selected. Child. That's not what I expected to see. What are you doing? What's that got to do with the error? Backend endpoint might not exist yet. The event might be firing twice due to duplicate listeners. Okay, so backend endpoint might not exist. All right, so now let me search the backend league service to see if the endpoint exists. Good, the agent already exists. Now let me check the gateway. There's the problem. The gateway doesn't have the REST endpoint for assigned user. Let me check what endpoints the gateway does have for leagues. Perfect. Now I can see the issue. The gateway has the following endpoints, but is missing assigned user and assigned name, which will be good to fix. Update to do, summary. I fixed the duplicate event listener. Fix duplicate. What needs to be added to backend. The backend league service has the gRPC methods, but the gateway is missing the REST endpoints. Wait. Why didn't it create those then? Maps to request body response. Would you like me to help you add? Yes, add those endpoints. Better, yes, add the endpoints, but I am pretty sure those functions should already exist in the league's service. So make sure we use what already exists. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let finagling uses. I guess, I don't know, like Bezzy just has little eyeballs that move up and down like it's thinking, looking, doing its thing. Copilot doesn't do anything but just says working. Just says working in the little dots. Dot, 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 working. Dot, 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 working. Oops, I better mute this. Thanks for joining me, Copilot. But I don't mind Copilot being there, to be honest. I kind of like it. but I have to mute it so it doesn't hear everything I'm saying. Sometimes I just like to ask random questions of Copilot, and if it's there, I can just click and add. I mean, you could theoretically open it, but then it's 2 clicks to do a verbal request. You know, I just got back from the gym I got back about 45 minutes ago, which was probably only 30 minutes from when I was done working out. I think I got done at 8:15. But my watch is already saying, hey, buddy, you haven't been moving much. Get moving. I'm like, I just got done moving. I did 45 minutes lifting weights. Stop bothering me. Oh, is this is still running. I probably should stop this. So I do have, I got to do my door dashing today. It's my attempt to contribute money, especially since I'm with the holidays and my programming here that, you know, Bezzy, and if I continue with Bezzy, what else do I have? Copilot and Claude. Now Copilot's going to renew itself automatically, I think, in December. And then I have to decide if I want 2 or 3, or if I even want to get rid of one of them. You know, if I'm going to get rid of Copilot, if I'm going to stop doing Bezzy, that's, I mean, think about it. That's $600 a year to do all 3 of them. $200 a shot. So that's probably too much for a guy who's unemployed. Probably shouldn't do that. Unless I can get this thing done and miraculously find a publisher who's interested in backing the game. But I don't even have a demo yet until I have simulation working. I don't even have a. All right, what do we got? The gateway compiled successfully. Now let me create a summary of what was done. Handler, assign user to team, accepts JSON body, blah, 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 handler, blah, blah. These endpoints use existing gRPC methods, assign user to team. Next steps, restart your gateway server for the changes to take effect. All right, so let's go restart gateway. Terminate that. Go create a new one. Gateway, ampersand, nope. PFFM, PFFM, go ms, / gateway. Oh, sure. I mean, it's the same thing I showed you Friday, but yeah, I'll show you in just a minute. Go and, okay. Now the reason I didn't use Bezzy for these commands, because this functionality is working on the back end, and Bezzy doesn't know anything about the back end. Bezzy is just my Unity. When I'm doing Unity AI stuff, that's when I'm usually using Bezzy. But yeah, let's start this up. Oh, use OBS to record too. Yeah, I use it for my recording sometimes as well. I know a lot of people. You know, you can, there's actually a Microsoft Windows at least has a screen recorder that you could just record your screen, but I think it does, or at least, yeah, I think it does. But yeah. All right, let me open up Bezzy here. I don't even know what should I ask it. I don't have a current problem for Bezzy to deal with. Actually, I do. I'm going to ask it to help me refactor something. Why didn't it open? Didn't I just click open? Hello? Bezzy? Are you there? Hello, Bezzy? Oh. Okay, it opened, but it didn't open in front. Okay, here we go. It was minimized, probably from the last time. See, this is the last thread. It just always opens up the last thread, even when I didn't even ask it to. So let's see if I can start a new thread. We'll go here, say debug a new issue or debug an issue, and then we'll say this is kind of a big deal. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna have AI doing it for me anyway. So we're gonna I need to refactor bit. Oops, that is not how you spell factor. I need to refactor a bit. I noticed several functions within the title screen manager that should be in the let's see what it's announcement board. What is the announcement board's script here? Announcement board. It's a announcement board panel, I guess. Announcement board panel script. Okay. Should be in the announcement board panel script. When title screen manager calls the announcement board panel singleton, should activate the function that it needs. You know, honestly, I think I actually want to change that a little bit. We're going to go when title screen manager calls the announcement board panel singleton, it should prompt it to open the league creation as needed. And then league creation, which would then activate the team selection panel, which doesn't really have a script. I think I want to. I'm gonna end up doing a lot here because I don't. Team cap container scroll rect. I think I want my team selection panel to handle its own loading as well. But for now, let's get it all into the announcement board. Calls the announcement board panel. Should prompt it to open the league creation as needed, which would be opening the team selection panel? Team selection panel, yeah. Team selection dash panel. Creates a bit more encapsulation functionality. Functionality. All right, let's see where this goes. This is, I think, if it does what I'm supposed to do, it's going to go straight to the same stream. Well, it should go to a new thread, but I hit submit. It's going to go to the same thread. Oh, whatever. When it wasn't working, normally when I do that, it goes to the same thread as before. In fact, when I did it yesterday, I did this. I put in the code, and it just shows you nothing. Nothing would show up. And I was like, why why do you mean? I mean, there's nothing there. But then I would go click on the old thread and I would see it adding it to the old thread. It would like, the screen would just go blank because it knows it's supposed to be in a new thread, but it put all the stuff on the old thread and it was doing it behind the scenes. And then when I would go click on the old thread, oh, I can't, oh, well, I can't change right now because it's in the middle of something. But, oh, well, like I said in the past, it did work occasionally, and apparently this is one of those occasions. And now that it's working, I can't really tell it. I can't really tell it to go back. So unfortunately, it didn't show it. I guess I could stop it, and then, but I would have to change the command, and yeah, sorry about that. It didn't do it that time. It did it Friday when I was showing it to you. It was doing it a lot, as a matter of fact. But hey, you know, you didn't mention why does it say you hit a tool limit? It's the nomenclature is weird. I don't know why it uses tool, whereas most LLMs will tell you hit your token limit. But I guess token limit implies that you're done. This one actually just go. I do like that. Oh gosh, dang it! I can't do anything while this is running. I was gonna go look. Can I open this in another page? No. I was hoping I can go to another page. It's weird because it was running in the background before. I could switch like to different threads or try to start a new thread, and whatever it was doing would keep running. Or at least when I created a thread and it would go onto the old thread, it would work. But now it's not letting me. So maybe there was an update. Yeah. Hopefully it won't do it at all. Maybe it's magically fixed. I don't know. I won't, like I said, until this is done updating, I can't really verify. I'll try, like I said, I'll try to do a new thread after this is done. I don't want to stop it in the middle. I have noticed that Bezzy is probably, actually, I think it's definitely better at seeing my code structure. I really like the way that it seems to be better at reading my not my code structure, but my Unity hierarchy and settings. That's big. It's huge. Oh. So, okay, so you get 500 credits. Is every thread a credit? Or is it, or do you have to hit a tool limit 500 times? So when it said, I think right now I'm probably closing in on 200. But when this is done, I'm gonna go look. Guess this refactoring is kind of a big deal, so it's probably taking it some time. All right, so it says it's done refactoring, so I'll go look at the code in a minute. But let's see where this takes me after I have to go look at these files though. See what it did. Because I got to say keep because it won't let me switch pages without keeping first. Yeah. So I can't really navigate anything. Oh. So if it's a really big response, it can still use a full credit. Okay. Every response is a credit spent. So it is kind of like, so it's kind of like tokens, except you can actually use the token in the middle of a response. So in a sense, it's a little more restrictive than normal token usage. Because I feel like when you do like when I'm using Claude, well, I don't know about Claude because I haven't figured out how to really track or see my usage. It's weird. Claude does everything weird. It has a weird display of your usage when I do it. Now, Copilot's pretty cool. Copilot, you can click on consumption, which right now is at 100%. This is why I had to buy Claude. I knew I was going to get a second one eventually anyway, but I've got 4 days before my my Copilot goes. But it was, it's pretty clear when you hit 100%, and you can constantly see yourself going up, and it's easy to track. Copilot's a little weird, but my understanding is every response, like Bezzy, is a token being used. But if you have a big use, it's still just one token being used. At least that's my understanding. But it sounds like if you have a big one with Bezzy, it only lets you. It can only be so big before it's going to require that before you use another token. Oh. But let's see what this did. Okay, so let's see. It's moving stuff around. So title screen, it's moving all this junk to... Okay, so no serialized items, so that won't break anything. Don't know why it moved. Why did it move the... why did it get rid of the progress bar? That's interesting. I'll have to look. Oh, wait a minute. So it deleted it and added it again? Store the selected team ID for later use. That is weird because that's not what that's doing. That's startup progress bar. I don't know where that is. It's that. I don't know what Bezzy was thinking there. I mean, it took this comment and put it on the end of this line, which is actually still supposed to be on this line, but it's removing this stuff to go back here. Okay, so it does do my league's data, count data, select team ID. Okay, so that's normal. That comment should be over here with this. I never noticed, but can I edit Bezzy's updates? I know I can do that with I know I can do it with Claude, but I'm curious, can I edit Bezzy's updates? Like if I take this off and hit control. Oh, you can't. You can't edit Bezzy's updates. Interesting. Huh. I mean, I guess. So if you don't like something Bezzy did, you have to, if you don't like a piece of what Bezzy did, you have to accept the whole thing and go back and fix what it did. You can't just like, oh, that's almost right, let me tweak it. If I was to ask for a feature request, Kevin, that would be a feature request. Sometimes I like most of what a AI response is, and I'll look at it and go, nah, it's not quite, let me tweak that. Or like I don't like a comment it put in, or a name it's using, or maybe it's making a change I only want part of. Can I get rid of a piece of this change? What if I wanted to just undo this piece and say no? What is that question? Oh, so can I not keep only, is there a way I can, like what if I didn't like this comment and I said, no, don't put this comment in. Is there no way to just say, don't take this? Copy it. Huh. Okay, that's another request. All right, so that's another request. Oh, so these are mostly comments. All right, yeah, I'll do another request here in just a minute. But yeah, another feature request would be, yeah, I should be able to not accept some of these changes. There should be like an option here, don't accept or roll back this line, because if it makes a bunch of changes, sometimes some of them I don't want or don't need. Like I've also had like some of these things will put in like debug lines, and I'm like, I don't need a debug line that tells me it was successful, and I can't like prevent it from doing any of these. I have to accept all these changes. I have no way to say no to any of them. Even though the majority might be good, it's kind of harsh to have to take all of them. Because the only other way then is to go into my GitHub changes and then go pick the ones I want to undo. I know Copilot lets you do it, but don't feel too bad, Bezzy, Kevin. I don't think Claude lets me do that either.
That's
okay.
That's true, Kenneth.
Did you just
Different AI models have different capabilities. What's on your mind today?
Okay, did she just unmute herself? Did Copilot just unmute herself? That's not okay. What the heck? I think Copilot just unmuted herself. Stop it! Okay, I'm seeing a bug with Copilot. That's a Microsoft Copilot. I don't mind it being around. It's just unmuting itself is not okay. Anyway, all right. So yeah, let's go do another request. Let's do another request. Now I don't know if I want to accept this. Do I? Is there no way to go? Oh wait. Let's just. I can't go to another request without saving this stuff. All right, we're gonna keep all. I can always just undo it. This is new. All right, so let's see what happens. What do I want to do? It's hard to come up with requests that I'm not actually thinking of the problem here. Can you add some flow? Oops, no, yeah. So I'm going to do, okay, so this is a thing too, look. Why do I have to type before I click this new thread thing? I can't click new thread. There's a new thread option. Control Enter doesn't do anything, but it has that. So it makes me type something before I can click new thread. Why? I don't understand that. That's weird. I mean, I should be able to click new thread and it just takes me to a new window and then I start typing. But keep in mind, I can still type here. Can you add some debug flow comments to the announcement board panel that states each function's start if it does not already exist. Okay, so now I'm going to click new thread since I had to type first. And then I'm going to hit new thread. And nope, doesn't go anywhere. New thread doesn't do anything. It just continues to function here. Yeah, well, they have to, right? You have to go home to start a new thread because the new thread button doesn't work. So, yeah, most people are going to go home to start a new thread because they don't have a choice. And this new thread button doesn't work even if I click it. So I put in the comment, said go to new thread, but it didn't do nothing. It just keeps adding to the same thread. So, yeah. Now it's doing its thing. I got to let it try that. But, and I can't even go back and look at this again. I was going to go look at how many tokens I'm at. Yeah, well, I probably don't need to let this finish. I don't really care about this thing, I suppose. Let's hit stop. Let's just cancel that. I don't care if it does it or not. And I did keep the last one. Let's just not do that one. I'll hit stop on hopefully did that undo everything? And that's another thing. Did it undo everything, even though I had said keep all before? What is it? Bezzy that was doing that before? It's like if you do a new thing and it changes the same file, and then you hit X, it undoes everything, even if you had said before keep all. I'm trying to think, what was it, Bezzy that did that before, or was that Copilot that did that before? Can't remember. So now I may have a broken thing if that broke. All right, so let's go back to home. So now home and this plus button I noticed are exactly the same. So this should just say, this should have a tooltip on it that says home. That's what it should say. It's not add new thread, because really add new thread should just be a blank screen that lets you type into it. But really home and home, these should just say home. This should be there should be a tooltip that pops up and says home, just so that you know that it's no different from home. But anyway, so let's go debug an issue, and we'll say add some. Wait! Before I do that, where was the? Okay, wait. There was a thing here. Where'd it go? I thought it was this. That let me see my current usage.
Kurama23 says, and .n.
Hey, Kurama, how you doing, man? All right, where'd it go? Nope, that ain't it. All right, last week I had a thing here on this lower part that showed me what my current usage was, but now it's gone. Weird. Hey, Nintendo. This is Bezzy. This is the thing I was telling you about that that has a Unity. It reads the Unity hierarchy really well and helps you to build your Unity stuff a little bit more effectively. When but it's got a couple of little quirks that Kevin here is helping me out. Oh, top right. Oh, is it this thing? No, top right. This? Oh, your subscription. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm at 175. Okay. I knew it was on the bottom of the left here. I just apparently was on the wrong window. Okay, so let's go back to there. We're going to go back here, and we're going to say, what do I want to do? Let's do the same thing. Add debug logs to, I don't know, we'll say on announcement board. Announcement board panel. Stating the start of each function. That does not already have. I don't know if I really want this, but whatever. Okay, so we'll hit submit. Ah, it's working again. It did that one. Okay, so don't know. Apparently it's working right now, or at least partially. Like I said, the new thread button doesn't work, but at least it's doing that right now. I assume. I mean, I could be wrong that it won't keep doing it, but it did do it there. I didn't notice any updates, so unless you did some behind-the-scene update. But last week when I was showing to you on Friday, I couldn't get out of this log. So, but at the moment, the only thing I can prove is that new thread doesn't work. The new thread option. All right, let's stop this. And then we're going to go here. Let's try this button. Nah, I'll undo. And now it got rid. Let's see. I wonder if I got rid of everything it did. Now that I've gotten rid of all of it. Well, right now, like I said, even this wasn't working before. Let's see, try, I'm using up all kinds of my responses. Trying a new thing. Let's see again if we can leave the thread. Again, I don't know why it's working now. It wasn't working at all for me last week. Or even, it wasn't even working for me yesterday when I was using it. Okay, look. So I just did it, created a new one, hit submit, and notice that my screen did not change at all. It's just stayed where it is. But I click here, and look, there's the new thing, trying a new thing. Let's see what it went, and it just appended it to the previous thread. This is what I was talking about. It didn't create the new thread that time. It just took me to the old thread and put it on there, even though I was on the same thing. And it didn't change my screen, didn't do anything. It just started working in the background, putting it on the old thread. And then I go click on the old thread and it worked. Ha! That's kind of funny. It actually put, it says, I see you're doing something. Well, at least Bezzy was smart enough to know I was trying to, but it didn't say, it says, I see you're trying something. Let me know when you're ready. So yeah, I was ready. I was ready to see that you start a new thread, but it didn't do it. I guess it didn't bother to read it. It just says, just trying a new thing. So yeah, that, it just goes on the old page. Let's see if I can try it again. Trying new thread, create again from the home page. Okay, so, well, at least for now, it kind of looks like home works, but this doesn't, which is really weird. So let's see if it's consistent. Another try at leaving thread. Which is weird because they're the exact same page, right? I mean, in theory, that button, I mean, these are the same page, home and that. See, it worked there. So it's hit or miss, man. It's like sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Like there, I used the plus button and it worked. And before I used the home button and it worked. But then I used the plus button and it didn't work. I just did the plus button and it worked. So, and now I could do double plus button. Try it again. Let's try seeing what happens if I just go here. I haven't tried to just go to this thing and try. Okay. Trying new thread. There we go. See, there it worked again. So I don't know. It's agreeing to disagree with me. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like last week, I felt like I tried like 10 times in a row and it maybe worked once. Now here it seems like it's working every other time. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's definitely buggy. It's good when it works, but it's I don't know. I don't even know if I mean, I'm just wasting my things here, but try again. We will burn down the broken stack. Submit. Now see, it's working right now. So maybe it's the length of my request. Maybe it's something, I don't know. I'm sure there's something that triggers it. Like my requests are getting smaller, but then, you know, it wasn't that long ago that it put this, oops, or was it on the one before that? Yeah, I put it on the end of the previous thing. So I don't know. There's definitely something for you to fiddle with. All right, man. Look forward to giving it a try. So let's go see what. Woo, man! All the way up to 181. I've got. I mean, that's okay. I've got what? 319 left. So, I mean, it should get me through. This is 2 days worth of usage, though. Well, I don't do as much work on the weekends, and I was doing back end stuff the last couple days. So it's possible Bezzy can get me through a month, but if I get a lot of back end stuff solidified, I'll be spending my time fully in Unity. In fact, when I start doing my simulation on here, it's gonna get, oh, you know, I don't even know what it did, because I don't know if it undid. That might be a problem, by the way, if it does that. By the way, that would be a bug in my mind. If you click undo for the most recent changes, even though you said keep all on a previous change, and then it undoes everything. I don't know. Let's see. How can I check? How can I check? Oh yeah. I can check. Let's go over here. Let's see if it did that. We're gonna go to my. Nope. Where's it at? Here we go. Title screen manager. Did it? Oh no. Okay. So I think we're okay. I don't think. Wait. Did it? Close this for a minute. Where's the changes for that one? Ooh. Nope. Wait. Maybe it did. Oh, it did. Ooh. That's not good, man. I don't like that. Yeah, it did. It definitely undid everything. Okay, so that's another bug. I think it's a bug. I believe most developers would say that's a bug. So when you select keep all, that should lock in that code. To not be undoable by doing an undo. Undo should only undo from the last keep. So basically the last change to the last time you hit keep. So what it did though is it did an extra change. I asked it to put in those comments. And I go, no, don't want the comments, undo all. And it undid not only the comments, but everything I had already approved on a previous keep all. And therefore, it actually probably broke the code, because now it was half missing it didn't undo the title screen stuff because it didn't make any changes to that file. But yeah, that's a problem. I mean, because you definitely are going to need to have to start a new thread if you want to keep track of the previous actions. And if it can't, hopefully the new thread thing will work, but it's also going to be a habit that every dev's going to have to get used to, which is going to be really scary. Oh no, I didn't start a new thread. I want to keep the old stuff. I don't like this. I can't undo it because it's going to undo all my stuff before it. And you can't undo piecemeal. You can't just go undo this, undo this, undo this, because you haven't given that feature to the Bezier application yet. So the only options you have are keep all or undo all, and undo all will undo everything, even to the point where you had already kept it. So very scary and dangerous, because you could have something working and then put in something that doesn't work, and then you can't undo the thing that's, yeah, that's scary. Please put that in. Please fix that. So Copilot lets you make those kind of changes, which is really nice, but it's got its own little quirks, so it's not perfect. And it's been around a lot longer than Bezier, so they've done a lot. Probably didn't have a lot of those features before. So it's got some experience, history to have built upon. Claude is pretty new, and it's missing some of that. Claude doesn't let you make individual changes either. So the big problem with doing any of that is that Claude and Bezier rely on you using your GitHub or whatever your source control is for any undos, but you can't encapsulate any of those undos, which is frustrating. So that means if you're doing work on a particular task, and maybe you like the first step, you get the first step in there and you say, good. you don't necessarily want to check that in. You're still working on getting the full task done, but you got the first piece in place. So then you go on to the next task and you say, all right, well, let's get this next piece in place. The next piece breaks or has problems, or you don't want the way AI did it. And normally you can go undo this item, undo that, change it, whatever, right there in the screen, because you can see what's going on in Copilot. And Claude, you can only do that if you don't allow for auto updates. If you allow it to auto change stuff, you can't do that. So Claude's got its problems too. So just letting you know. Bezi's not the only culprit. So then you have to go over to GitHub, or in my case, I use GitHub, compare, and then you got to look for the items that you didn't want and try to remember which ones which ones are good, which ones are not. And checking in after every step of a progress is going to be really frustrating, really kind of a pain in the rear. It's like right now, if I wanted to just say, screw what I started today, because I didn't really do that much yet, I could just undo everything, start fresh, because nothing I did was massive. But I still feel like there's things I want, but I'm pretty sure Bezi kind of half broke things, because some of the changes were on my title manager, and it made those changes that were supposed to move it to the announcement board. And now I have no way to, actually I could, I guess if I really wanted to, I could manipulate this bug in Bezi. Let's see if I can, to make it undo the stuff it did before. If I go here, nope, I guess it undid them all. All right, they all exist already, but it didn't oh, I know, it's right here. All right, so we can go here. So if I go to this thread, ask it to make changes to the title screen. Okay, this is going to be weird. All right, so this is, it undid those. Can I go to an old thing and actually undo the stuff it did? Undoing everything? Oh my gosh, that would be really a thing. Okay, so let's go here. So I expect all these would vanish, even though I've already approved these items. They already, oh, that's just going to show it to me. And I've already approved all these. Okay, so they're all there. I've done the keep all. It exists. And if I go here and say, add process flow debug blocks to title screen manager. All right, let's see. It's going to do its thing. It is adding stuff to this file, making some changes. Oh, that's going to be weird, man. If I can really go back to an old script, have it see changes on that script, and then undo them all simply because I added these comments, ooh, it's going to be weird. So what most other tools do to take care of this problem is they remove the edited files. When you say keep all, it removes them from the edited files list. That's probably what it should do. Just take them out of the edited files list, remove it from memory or whatever it's doing to hold that stuff. Therefore, when it starts working on something new, even if it's in the same script, you say keep all, it's gone. It's no longer in the edited files. This way, I think if you go forward and edit those changes, it will make them go away. I mean, I'm sorry, if you go through and make changes to those files, undoing will only undo the new stuff, not the stuff you already approved. That's my theory. Again, didn't program your Bezi. I don't know what Bezi does. But my theory is Bezi's keeping this stuff in memory, or it's storing it, and then you undo it, and it kills everything. Because, see, it's just adding this number. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 62, 63, what's gonna, if it finds more reasons. 66, yeah, it's getting bigger. I don't know what the minus 238 is. Is that 238 unchanged and you're adding 66? 68? It's adding, well, it shouldn't be adding that much. It should just be adding some log lines. I wouldn't imagine it's that many. I should have just told it to add a single comment somewhere. I have to wait for this. It did make changes. I wonder if I stop. I don't think it'll undo. Stop. Okay, so now, if I say undo all, because you can't just half keep, undo all. Okay, so that one's interesting. It did stop. So if you go back to a script, it does appear to have only undid what it did. So like it didn't really memorize what this was. So if it's a live script, let's see if that's true. I'm pretty sure it did not undo everything because it kept that. Last time I did this during a script I was in process of, even though I had said keep all and then added something new to the script and did an undo all, it deleted everything. But this is an old script I came back to that had this file in it, and it seems to have taken this stuff out of memory. Interesting. Let's go see if that's true. If I go here and I go look at Title Screen Manager. Yeah, no, the deletes are still there. Okay. Well, that's partial. At least I can't go back and break something from the past. That's nice. It probably, I would imagine it probably just lost scope on those items because they may not be there. There could have been changes. It loses scope on them. So it probably doesn't have them in memory anymore. That's probably why you can't go back to old ones. But if it's in the current script, it does let you do it. So I'm going to probably have to, I've left it in too many hung up areas. I'm going to have to undo everything because I have too many things that are half done, half broken. I'm going to have to roll back my entire changes for today simply because I don't know what state stuff is in. All this experimental stuff. Going to have to undo it all. That's all right. I didn't do that much. It was just, I was cleaning up some files here, and we'll just deal with that later. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Let's go. Right. Undo. Discard changes. Yeah. We'll throw those out. I do want this one. Yeah, so we kept that, Gateway and League. Those ones are important. Because too many things just got busted. Which sucks, but c'est la vie. Go ahead and stop. Oh, I am stopped. Gonna have to work on actually making some progress now. It's like, my Bezier testing. I should probably do a Bezier review. After you give me an update, Kevin, assuming you're still there, I will maybe I'll do a Bezier review of the changes and what it can do, what it can't do. Kind of do like a little stream on Bezier because I do like Bezier, but it's got some quirks, and it'll probably be a good thing to let people know about, because really it is pretty effective in what it does do, but also to let them know the workarounds for the things it doesn't do. Now I don't know. I don't know if there's a good way. I don't think Bezier can actually work on your backend code because it plugs into your Unity. Maybe if I don't know if I put all of my code somehow into this solution, does Bezier use your solution code? I don't know. No, I think Bezier probably fully relies on your assets and project items, and all my stuff isn't in Unity. So I don't know that Bezier can do that. By the way, as a football fan, if you're watching me do this at all, the Broncos kicked the Cowboys tushkus yesterday. Finally, they played a full game. That was awesome. It was good to watch my team show that they could play for, 4 quarters, both offensively and defensively. I mean, they basically just wrecked them. Now, the next couple of weeks, weaker teams, but still, we got to see that consistency. They should be able to play out all 4 quarters. But then they got the Chiefs, which will be probably their next big match. I hope they win these next 2 games. Denver, you always want your team to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Getting upset by mediocre teams is never a good thing. I got a half an hour to see if I can get this thing some progress. All right, so let's see. Back to where I was. So this, basically everything should be back to working the way it did. Let's go make sure. Which should take me to the broken states. But I did keep the gateway and the league stuff, so that should be fine. Which means my gateway should still work. It's just my Unity changes that have been altered. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Yep, we're all good there. We'll load that up. We'll hit confirm. Hey, my logos. So these are the logos I have currently that that exist. The gherkins. See, they're a pickle. I said they were a pickle. I know you said they look like a frog, but they don't look like a frog here. He looks like a pickle. And then I got the Senatine Saints, who I haven't decided what, but I have one team where all the characters are girls, female. Because that's what I decided to do. It's the Divas, which, by the way, are the Oakland Raiders. So they only exist for 6 or 7 years in my game, unless I decide to put past leagues in. But the Oakland Raiders are the Divas, and I can't remember who their first name is, but they are the girls. So the Saints were female, but I might change that. I have to come up with a good character model for the Saints. I haven't decided what I want them to look like. And basically they were angelic females, right? So they all had wings. I'm trying to limit the number of characters I have that have wings, because that's just another thing I have to animate, and too many wings is going to be a pain. So the Lanier Stone Swans are actually the New Orleans Saints. The Lapim Hominids, I believe those guys are the Miami Dolphins. Hominids, by the way, you can't tell, it looks like a dude here, but that's a monkey. It's basically a gorilla. That's who the hominids are. I don't have an image of them as a character. And this is my buck rays. See, it's like a manta ray with the buck horns. That is the buck rays. And you can see he's kind of got a football head. These are the Scorned. I got to get rid of the background on a couple of these. I didn't notice I still had backgrounds on those. The Scorned are the Denver Broncos. I don't know all these by heart, who they are, because I can't forget. I can sometimes figure it out by their colors. The Anaclaf Talons Can't remember. I can't remember who they all are. Colors wise, it helps, but a lot of teams have the same colors. I think the Blink Giant Canines are the Chicago Bears. Nope, it can't be. Too many N's. Oh well, anyway, these are my logos. And then Leela Heed Alpha Pigs. And that doesn't do anything. Okay. Well. But on the upside, my console... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I thought my console was working. I got 80 things showing up here missing. That I probably should fix at some point. How many of these are image related? Well, we know all of my images are loading. So we got a double situation with the poses. These are my missing logos. This is what I should have. Okay, so I am getting a double logos missing thing. It's really all it is. I got my logos, and then I have a double warning for logos. Should have been loaded during startup, and then should have been loaded during startup. It's the same message twice. Does this take me to the code? Let's get rid of that. I don't need twice. Why do I need this twice? Load team logos. Where's the other one? Team name selected. Nope. Unless, well, I know we're not getting it twice, the same one, because the message isn't exactly the same. Did I not say, oh, that's current directory, current project. Oops. Yeah. Current project. Oh, match whole word. Oh. Think that. Okay, so should have, okay, so we have it in game card. Character pose is on the game card. Logos. And then announcements. I don't think announcements should be doing this. Why is announcements doing that? Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. All it does is log. Why do I need it twice? Alright, so that'll reduce my information a lot. Retrieved. I don't need team logos from the cache. I don't need that either. And found announcement board panel. Found logo in cache for blah. I don't need that. I'm not even sure why. Wait a minute. Is this? That's just a log. And then the other one is warning. Okay, so yeah. I don't need that to show up. Let's see if I can reduce some of these messages. Also, no team retrieve logos. Okay. Retrieving team logos from. Alright. So that should reduce me, hopefully, from 60 to something a little bit more reasonable. This is basically a double log. I don't need this to happen twice. Now, as I add and correct my or once I add all of my logos and all of my poses, this will go down significantly. These are just warnings saying I don't have these images yet. And of course I will need them, so I don't get rid of the warnings. I'm kind of glad my confirmation buttons aren't working yet, because it allows me to step through and make sure that, you know, I can keep going through this. The problem is, if I fix my confirmation buttons, I'd have to start going through and deleting my leagues. Oh, that knocked it down to 26. That's way better. So I got missing logos and missing poses. Perfect. Logos and poses. I don't have any plays, but I don't think my plays are actually set up as my warnings. Plus, I don't know that I actually have plays in the system right now. All right, so let's go. Plus, I haven't gone to this page, which I think adds a bunch more. Yeah, it jumps to 43. So that was just downloading the assets, and then it does it again down here when it actually tries to put them into the screen. All right, but we're good. That's way better. 43. That'll be fixed when I get more images on. I still have 756 of these things, though. Golly. It's way more than I need. And I'm getting 2 is logged in checks. So I'm obviously checking more than once. That's not so good. Replicative calls. And with 756, it's because there's iterations going on. I mean, I don't really have 756 log lines. The problem is with these two, with Unity logs, warnings and errors you can click and it'll take you to that place in code. Logs don't do that. So you can click on them, but it won't tell you where they are. And this is just the time, 10:37:21. All right, well, I need to log off for this morning session. I have to go do my... I will get this going a little bit more this afternoon, but I have to go get ready to DoorDash. Boo. But got to do it. Contribute to the family funds as much as that peddly little bit can do.